Hi, I'm Tom Ziglar, CEO of the Zig Ziglar Corporation, and I'm so excited you're joining us here on the Ziglar Coaching Academy. And we are going through together Zig Ziglar's legendary program, Strategies for Success, the Blueprint of Achievement. And we are on part 2 of building a healthy self-image. Our self-image is so key and critical to our success. And these wisdom points that we can implement in our life help us to be more effective in everything that we do. And if you're coaching yourself or you have coaching clients, you're going to get some valuable questions and principles that you can use in your life. Let's go ahead and start the video.
The day before vacation, you got a sheet of paper out or now your laptop, and you said, now let me see, tomorrow I got to do this and this and this and this. How many of you kind of did that? Kind of see your hand, all right? And we call that goal setting. Then you got them organized in the order of importance. How many of you did that one? Kind of see your hand, all right? Let me encourage you to make one slight change. Make the first thing on the list the most disagreeable thing. For example, if you got to go give Charlie the worst news he could ever receive, and he's number 5 on the list, and you finish number 1 in the back of your mind, got to talk to Charlie. You finish number 2, got to talk to Charlie. Finish number 3, got to talk to Charlie. Get him out of there. Deal with the bad one first. Like this old boy down home would say, friend, you know, if you're going to have to swallow a frog, you just don't want to look at that sucker too long. I mean, he ain't going to get no prettier. You can, matter of fact, he going to get uglier, okay? So in other words, you do that.
Wow, that was powerful. I love the day before vacation idea. So here is the coaching principle for you. Focus, planning, and urgency can unlock levels of productivity and purpose you didn't know you had. When there's something big, when there's a goal, when there's something that you want to achieve and you can smell it and you can taste it and you can feel it, all of a sudden, that focus goes to the next level. Why not do that every day? So here is the coaching question for you that you can ask your client, you can ask yourself. If you approach tomorrow with the focus and intention you have the day before a vacation, what might you accomplish? Swallowing that frog. I love that story. It's an ancient story. I think it's been around for a millennium, and I've heard so many people say it. But have you really thought about the coaching principle that's in it? Tackling your most difficult task first frees your energy for everything else. It's a discipline that builds momentum. And here is the coaching question that you can apply. What's the frog you're avoiding? And what would happen if you tackled it first instead of putting it off? How much different would your life be if you just jumped in and you did the most difficult thing first in the morning? It frees you up. Now, here's another powerful concept, is that when you do something that you know you should do, even if it's difficult, even if it's as simple as making outbound sales calls to your customers and clients, and you have a little bit of fear around doing that, if that's the frog you've got to eat, if you set a goal and you say, you know what, I'm going to make 25 of those before lunch. Well, when you do that, you automatically get not only a confidence boost, but a boost in your self-image. All right, let's go in and let's start watching the next segment of this powerful Zig Ziglar program.
Let me tell you about Pam Lontos. Pam was an overweight housewife. She had, in her academic career, become a teacher because her family insisted that she become one. But when she was in school, she was a sales lady and a very good one. But she'd gotten so discouraged as a teacher because that's not what she really wanted to be. She recognized the importance of it, but it just simply was not for her. And so she was depressed. She spent from 14 to 18 hours a day in bed. She got up to cook her children's breakfast. She got back in bed. When they came home from school, she got up and cooked their evening meal. Then she got back in bed. The professional, who was highly regarded, she was with for 5 years, and he was kind enough to tell her that she would always be under his care, that she would never get any better. Now let me tell you something, folks. You're what you are and you're where you are because of what's gone into your mind. Now you can change what you are. You can change where you are by changing what goes into your mind. Pam was listening to the radio one day. An advertisement came on. It was for a health club. See, it sounded like they were having fun. She took step number one. She got up and she went down to that health club to see what was going on. The people there seemed to be enjoying themselves. She certainly wasn't enjoying herself. 155 pounds, and she's a little bitty short lady. She wasn't having any fun with her life, so she decided to join. And as she joined, she got to feeling so much better. She had gotten active now, and she had taken some steps, and she got to feeling so good, she decided she wanted to sell memberships. And she did. And she was very good at selling those memberships, but her career was up and down. A good week, a bad week, a good, you know what I'm talking about, because her moods kind of wavered. And then the sales manager, recognizing her potential, gave her a set of tapes on motivation. Now, I wouldn't be telling the story if they weren't my tapes, and you know that, don't you? Okay. And when she started listening to those tapes, all of a sudden her career stabilized. I mean, she started having good week after good week after good week. But you know where her heart was? It was in selling radio advertising. So she went down to a station, not anything close to the top station in the Dallas area, but she went down to apply for the job. The sales manager refused to see her because they had no openings for salespeople. But Pam had a slight hearing problem. She couldn't hear the word no. So she sat in his outside in the lobby all day long. Next day, he still wouldn't see her. She still couldn't hear her. She sat another day. The third day, he still wouldn't see her. She sat another day. The fourth day, he still wouldn't see her. She sat another day, and on the fifth day, he said, well, come on in. They hired her. It wasn't long before she was a #1 producer in that station. Now, it was a small station, only had 5 salespeople on the staff, but after a period of time, she was soon producing as much as the other 4 combined. And then she got a big break. She broke her leg. It was the biggest break of her life. The doctor said she wouldn't be able to work for at least 9 or 10 or maybe even 11 months, but they didn't know Pam Lontos. A week after the leg was broken and in a cast from her hip to her ankle, getting around on crutches, she showed up back for work. She had hired a driver to drive her around. But getting in and out of the car was a tremendously difficult thing, and so she started figuring there's got to be a better way. She started learning from everybody who knew anything about telephone sales, and soon her telephone sales were much more than the others had been before she had broken her leg. The other salespeople said, Pam, how you doing this? Well, Pam loves to teach and loves to share. So she started sharing with the others how she was doing. The station doubled and then tripled their business. The sales manager got jealous because instead of them coming to him for advice, they were going to Pam. So he resigned, and the sales force campaigned to make Pam the sales manager. And she, of course, gladly accepted it. The station did so well as part of the Disney radio chain that they started sending Pam all over the country to teach others how to do what she was doing. They invited her to speak at the National Radio Broadcasters Association, and she made such a big hit that she booked something like 25 engagements from that one, and she became vice president of sales for Disney Radio. Not long after that, she went into speaking as a full-time career. She's a published author. It's amazing what happens when we change what goes into our mind. When you change the picture, when you chart a course of action. See, what you do when you really have a goals program, now everybody's got goals. I mean, a bank robber's got goals, you understand that, okay? But when you have a goals program, what you're doing is you're bringing the future into the present, so you can do something about your future right now.
The Pam Lontos story is legendary in the Ziglar family. We grew up with it. And I call that story an anyway story. And the best representation I know of an anyway person is Trinell Walker. Trinell had a high school football accident, paralyzed from the neck down. And like Pam, Trinell does it anyway. So are you an anyway person, or are you a because person? What's a because person? They're the ones who say, I can't do that because I can't go there because I can't move there because. And so what the Lontos story is talking about and what Trinell Walker lives is we got to be anyway people. So here's the coaching principle of this story. How you feed your mind changes your life. Renewed thinking leads to renewed circumstances. What are you listening to, reading? Who are you hanging out with? Now, here's the coaching question that you can ask yourself and your clients. What's something positive you could start listening to, reading, or telling yourself that might help you move forward from where you are right now? Now, let's go back and listen to Zig.
Let me tell you, folks, failure is an event. It's not a person. Yesterday really did end last night. When I was 45 years old, I was broke and in debt. I'm an authority on the fact that failure is an event. But folks, it is not a person. What we got to do is understand that tomorrow is a brand new day. It's yours. You can make it better or you can make it worse. The choice really is yours. What I want you to do is I want you to buy these ideas we've been sharing with you. I want you to put them to work. I challenge you to recognize all of these wonderful qualities that you have. In our next session, we're going to identify so many more qualities which you have. And we're going to learn how do we develop those qualities and put them to work. You see, folks, you really were born to win. But in order to be the winner you were born to be, you got to plan to win. You got to prepare to win. And then only then can you legitimately expect to win. Buy these ideas and follow through. Because if you do, I will see you. And yes, I really do mean you. Not just at the top. Hey, I'm going to see you over the top. Thank you, and God bless you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Here's the coaching principle as we wrap up this video. Setbacks are moments, not definitions. Your future is defined by your next choice, not your past result. Here's the coaching question for you. What is one failure or setback you're ready to see as an event? Not a label, not something that defines you, but something that just happened so that you can move forward. What did you think of this? Part 2 of building a healthy self-image. So much wisdom from Zig. If you're like me, your blood started racing, and I'm so glad you joined us right here on the Ziglar Coaching Academy. I would ask you to subscribe to this academy, to tell your friends about it, to invite other coaches in here. We want to share this wisdom with you. And stay tuned because we have another video coming up. It's going to be the strategies for success, the blueprint of achievement, the next program that's coming out. So be coming back right here to get more wisdom you can use to change your life. We'll see you next time.